Today I want to talk about a film and the connotation of this film. Out of the Dark is a Hong Kong film released in 1995, directed by Lau Chun-wei, starring Stephen Chow and Karen Wong. Out of the Dark is a comedy horror, which contains the humor combined with the elements of traditional horror movies, and also added Stephen Chow's nonsensical interpretation. Out of the Dark is the first horror movie of Stephen Chow. The story describes a series of events that occur on the seventh-day soul returning night of an old lady after she jumped off her building. Leon, played by Stephen Chow, appears to hunt down the ghost to save the resident, but the mentally illness background of Leon makes him untrusted by security and residents. Although the film was well received for combining horror and comedy elements into one film, however, the film is completely different from Stephen Chow's previous comedy film. The final box office of the film is only Hong Kong 60 million, making it the lowest box office set in Stephen Chow's film. Out of the Dark looks like an ordinary ghost hunting story. There is a conflict between man and ghost, but also a conflict between person and society. The connotative meaning of the film is expressing that the society is conservative and close-minded, which is difficult to accept the ideas that are rule-breaking for them, and those who hold such ideas will be seen as rebels. The meaning can be seen in the climax of the film. In this case, Leon and the others are being hunted by the ghosts on the rooftop of the building, and they were cornered. Leon comes up with the idea of making a flying hat by folding newspaper and use it to fly out of the building. At first, when Leon suggested turning the newspaper into a flying hat, others felt incomprehension and despair. When the ghost almost caught people, Leon leads them to jump off the building and fly. At this moment, people still don't believe in Leon, even though they have seen many times how Leon fights against the ghost and achieves what they thought was impossible. When they had to jump off the building, they found that the flying cap could actually be used, and were pleasantly surprised. Going back to the connotative meaning I mentioned earlier, you will find that Leon represents those very imaginative people in the society who have a lot of out of the ordinary ideas. They see the world with their own imagination and their own perspective. And the security guards in the film, who represented the closed-minded society. They do not understand or believe Leon's idea because they are closed-minded and lack imagination. They thought Leon's ideas were crazy and incomprehensible, and saw him as a mental illness just like the society. Looking back at the flying scenes in the movie, there are different hints and implies about the ideas and feelings of the directors. First, the flying hat in the movie represents the crazy and rule-breaking ideas in the society. Only the one with imagination will understand it. Also, the act of flying in the sky also implies that unimaginative people have difficulty understanding their thoughts because people like Leon see things from a higher perspective. In addition, before jumping off the building, Leon said that they only needed to focus on one thing, and that was flying. This implies that people exploring a new idea need to think about how to implement it, not criticize it. Then they finally talk to the sky, which implies that any idea is possible if you try. Although The House of the Dark is not well known in Stephen Chow film, the combination of comedy and horror elements in the movie is still very interesting and outstanding. This is my analysis of the connotative meaning of House of the Dark. Thank you for your watching.